Why do you do what you do? Has anybody ever asked you what your why is? Now, in the personal development space, and anytime you're trying to work on anything in your life of significance, one of the biggest questions that people always ask is, what is your why? And they always say, your why should make you cry. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why it is we do what we do. I'm reading this book called Millionaire Success Habits, and it kind of talks about how this is the foundation to all success. And I'm going to share like 4 or 5 different things that I took away from chapter 2 of this book. Welcome to Chavez Live 360, brought to you by Live Masters, where we feel alive by going live, and your journey to personal development begins here. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mike Chavez, and I've been on a live video journey for 5 years. I go live every day with videos like this so you and I can get to know each other. I specialize in helping people network online and build incredible relationships. I'm here in the fabulous city of Las Vegas. Let me know where in the world that you're tuning in from. If you're joining me live, say hello. Like, we already have some people coming in and saying hi. And yeah, let me know what the weather's like for you today. It's starting to warm up here in Vegas. It has been so cold lately, I got to tell you. So I started thinking about what I was going to talk about today, and I really wanted to share a little bit about this book and some of the takeaways that I learned from this chapter. I actually had a few epiphanies, a few aha moments reading this chapter. But basically, the book it's Millionaire Success Habits, and like I mentioned, the name of the chapter 2 is Foundation, the Foundation for All Success. And there's about 4 different things that it talks about. Um, One of the first things it talks about is we tend to focus on the things that we don't want in life. And it talks about in the book that, the law of attraction. I don't know what you believe in. If you've ever heard of the law of attraction, whatever we give our energy to, whatever we focus on, we get more of in our life. And I've been guilty of this. I don't know, maybe you can share in the comments if you've ever thought this way, or you've ever uh you know tried to process things this way. We tend to focus a lot on things that we don't want, right? Like, I didn't want to be unhealthy, I didn't want to have bad relationships, I didn't want to be broke, I didn't want to struggle with my health, right? And because I focused so much on all the things that I didn't want, I got more of that in my life. And it talks about in the book how Dean talks about this group. He goes on a whitewater rafting trip. And that, if you've ever been whitewater rafting, or even if you haven't, that there's lots of hazards. There's rocks, there's trees, there's a lot of things in the water that can hurt you, right? Things just pop up. And the guy was talking about how he doesn't focus on the things that he doesn't want to hit. He focuses on where he wants to go. And anytime you set an intention in life on wanting to fulfill something or go down a path, we're going to get obstacles. Things are going to come up. And the analogy of the whitewater rafting thing is, say you're going down the river and you see a big rock, right? You don't want to look at that rock, because what's going to happen is wherever you look, that's where you go. And I shared this morning in our call that when I learned how to ride a motorcycle, it was like the same way. My dad taught me to not look at the turn when you go into a turn on a motorcycle, but you want to look through the turn. You want to look where you want your bike to go, because if you're trying to avoid something and you stare at it, wherever you look, that's where you end up going. And it's a subconscious thing. So the one of the key things was to not focus on the things that you don't want. The next thing that they talked about, number 2, was, where are you? Where are you in life? At what stage are you? And don't lie to yourself, right? Take an honest inventory and assessment of where you're at in life. And my grandpa used to always say this to me. He said, he would say this saying to me. It stuck to me to this day. Obviously, I'm talking about it on the video, right? And this was the saying that he always used to say: true to thyself be known. True to thyself be known. And he would always tell me that it doesn't matter how hard you try. There's only 2 people that you can't lie to. That's yourself in God. Now, listen, I've gotten pretty good in the past at lying to myself and telling myself rational lies. Break down the word rationalize for a second and think about it. A ration is a small portion, and a lie is a lie, right? So when we rationalize, we're telling ourselves little lies. Because if we told ourselves the whole truth, nothing but the truth, it might just floor us. It might just knock us down. We couldn't handle it. So we tend to rationalize and tell ourselves little lies. So taking all this inventory of your life, where you're at with your spirituality, your mental mindset, your relationships, your health, your wellness, and of course your finances, right? So take an honest look at where you're at in your life. Now listen, most of us aren't happy where we are. And I'll tell you why most of us are not happy where we're at. The reason why we're not happy where we're at is because we're either growing or we're dying. Have you heard that one? I'm sure you've heard that one. And if we're not growing, then we're going to have that unsettling feeling that we're withering away. We're dying on the branch. None of us want to do that. So that was the second one. Be true to yourself. And then the next one is be clear on where you want to go. Be clear on where you want to go. Now, this is obviously the opposite of not focusing on where you don't want to go. Be clear on where you want to go and set your intentions on where you want to go. Now, anytime you set out on an adventure, they say that you want to have the destination in mind of where you want to end up. Because again, the obstacles are going to come up. Life is going to happen. And if we don't know where we want to go, we're easily going to be deterred. We're going to be, it's going to be difficult for us if we don't know where we ultimately want to go. Now, the next one that they talked about in the book here that I wrote down is identify your why. Now, that's kind of, like I mentioned at the top of the video, identifying your why, that is so hard. It can be so difficult. I know it sounds like it might not be, but it can be difficult because it shares in the book. There's an exercise in this book called the 7-layer deep exercise, where you might ask somebody why they do something and they'll give you an answer, but it's going to be the first thing that comes to mind, right? A lot of times we tell people things that they want to hear, but we don't attach an emotion to it, right? So anytime that you attach an emotion to something like your why, that's when you're going to be able to take action. There's nothing stronger in the world than an emotion. We do everything based on our emotions. And that's why when you do these exercises, you can attach an emotion to why you want to do something. And when things get difficult in life, because they always do, it's the emotion that's going to help you take action in life. Now, before I go here, I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to read this little section, a little exercise of this 7-layer deep exercise that Dean did. And you shop with your emotions. That's right, Mark. You do. You shop with your emotions. You do everything with your emotions. Everything in life is an emotional decision. Now, I know that might not sit well with some people, but it's true. We make our decisions based on our emotions. Okay, so here's Dean's, the 7 levels deep exercise. Now, and it shows you right here. Right here. It says, this will give you an example of how you could dig deeper to get and attach an emotion to why it is that you're doing what you're doing. And when you attach an emotion to what you're doing, then nothing can stop you. Nothing in this world can stop you if you attach the right emotions to it. Okay, here we go. Why did you write this book, Dean? To change 1 million lives by helping people see better path and better habits to success. Why do you want to change 1 million lives? Because it feels amazing to serve and help others. Why does it feel amazing to serve and help others? It allows for even more successful businesses based on solid principles and values. Why is it important for you to have business based on values, business principles and values? I want to leave a legacy my family will be proud of. Why do you never? Why is it important for you to leave a legacy your family would be proud of? I never want to go backward, and I hated being broke as a kid. Why do you never want to go backward? I want my kids to have choices as they grow up. Why is it important for your kids to have choices you never had? Because I want to be in control. I want to live life on my own terms and be free to do as I choose. Now, listen, real quick here. I read earlier in this book that Dean was very poor when he was a kid. They didn't have heat. They had to run a cable through their neighbors to steal electricity. And he knew at an early age that wasn't right. And he knew that he didn't want to live like that. And so that was one of the things that inspired Dean growing up, that, he wanted to be free. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. He wanted freedom. We talk about freedom. And once he started having kids, he didn't want his kids to live like he did. Any parent, if you're a parent out there, the goal of a parent is to provide a better life for your child than what you had. That's what we all want as parents. And so when you read Dean's why, as he goes deeper and deeper and deeper, one of the reasons that he does what he does, why he does what he does, is because he wants a better life for his kids than what he had. So, and again, think about that for a second. He attached emotions to all of those things. Emotions are the most powerful thing in the world. Love, hate, right? Those are so powerful, so powerful. So if you can attach an emotion to your why, you will be unstoppable. Nothing can stop you. So if you're stuck, take an honest inventory of where you're at, be true to yourself, and start digging and start asking yourself these questions. Why do I do what I do? Why do I do what I do? Have you ever stopped? We get so busy in life. We got so many things going on. But how often do you stop and ask yourself, why the hell am I doing what I'm doing? Now, it does say in the book here that that's an exercise that he does I guess he does it every quarter. He does it 4 times a year, where he takes inventory, and he really wants to make sure that throughout the year he is on path and he's got his emotions attached to why he's doing what he's doing. So that's my question for you today in this video. Why do you do what you do? Do you just wake up in the morning without intention? I doubt it. We all do something every day in every way with an emotion attached behind it. And I hope that this video sheds some light on that, right? You don't do anything by happenstance or accident or coincidence. We do everything for a reason, right? And there's always an emotion attached for everything that we do, okay? So listen, if you want more information about this book study that we're doing, let me know. I would love to send you a personal invite. You can take a look at the call that we did this morning. You can take a look at the call that we did last week as we go through these chapters. Chapter 3 is going to be the villain within, where we kind of tackle that inner voice that talks to us a little bit and goes deep, right? So I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. We're streaming this live on my personal Facebook page. We're in our community Live Masters. And of course, we are on our hashtag YouTube Live Masters channel. So stay safe, stay healthy. God bless each and every one of you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.